This week we're going to be talking about termites and the scientific method. In this walkthrough video, I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of the kinds of things that I want you to do today. So when you come into the module through the course content, you click on the module Scientific Method in Termites with the due date of 8/23. And you come first to an overview that tells you a little bit about what the general subject is about this time. It also gives you a short overview of all the things that you're supposed to be doing. There's a lab handout here, and I'm going to click on that real quick because we're going to look at the question set in just a second. So that takes you to a folder, and then you can click on here, and this is where you get to your lab handouts. When you click on that, the lab handout gives you all the information you need for this week's lab. And among other things, it brings you to the question set. The question set, you can also find it separately under the question sets right here. So that's the lab handout. The lab handout is the main document you're going to need. The lab handout contains some background information, and in this lecture, I go over the background information that's in the lab handout, and I expand on it just a little bit on a couple of things that I think are important. This is an interesting thing that shows you how people think. And it's actually not very conducive to the scientific method, but watch this and see if you can figure out if you can solve this puzzle by about the 2-minute mark. He solves it for you later, but it's an interesting exercise in thinking to kind of look at that. If you want to know what the real scientific method is about, look at this, but this is optional. And suffice it to say, the scientific method is not what you've done in, your science experiments. It's way more complicated than that. Then here is a demonstration of what I want you to do this week. And then here is what you're actually doing. There's a lecture quiz. The information that you need is in the lab handout. You've got 3 attempts at taking this quiz. Here's the question set. There's a link to the question set. The scientific method, that's the Labster assignment, and you literally just click on this thing. And if you have the Labster code, then the very first time you click on that, you'll be asked for the Labster code. And then this is the handout question set quiz, which has you go over. So in this question set, there are certain questions you're being asked. Record 3 observations, record 3 hypotheses, and then it asks you about the kinds of things, the kind of data that you're gathering, how you're going to organize your chart, and that kind of thing. I'm basically asking you to go over this using this question set quiz. So when you click on this question set quiz, you're going to find that the questions in there are very similar to the questions in the handout. And at this point, I want to, in the demo, I'll also show you the Google site, but basically you're filling out these question sets, and then you're going to submit this. And on some things, you're going to get immediate feedback. You have unlimited tries to submit this, so if you're not happy with the grade the first time around, you can always try this again. And that's, in a short overview, the things that you're going to do this week.